everyone, back again, doing another driving video here, and this is going to be basically, I think I'm going to do how to kind of introduce esotericism to people that you come in contact with, so on and so forth, and that kind of deal. Try to get them to think about things. Once people understand how all this kind of stuff works and whatnot, they can work towards making a change, and they'll be better off for it. In the sense of, we know what's coming, we are prepared for what's coming, and we can teach them, and then they know, and they can teach people, and then we don't have nearly the problems. We don't have such a selfish type of mindset of getting to, I'm so much this and I'm so much that. There's so many things that people get distracted by. They get bogged down in so many different things, and it gets them nowhere, really. You see people arguing, or their mindset goes into different things that just don't matter. Like when you try to teach them something about esotericism, and they go, oh, but the politics, we're waiting for this change, or, well, they're working on this and that. It's like, you guys don't understand how the system works, how it's set up to mess with you and for you to think like that. And if you understood how it all worked and so on, you can learn how to survive and that kind of thing for what's to come. I don't know if it's going to be this year. Who knows? I'd say it's pretty darn close, though, because right now I feel like it's just distraction after distraction after distraction. While they're planning all these different events and stuff out, the real events that actually matter to everybody, not just something where someone can say, well, this is what's going on in other places in the world and so on. I'll tell you what's going to really matter is losing electricity, losing your job, losing your access to car, transportation, losing people in your life and that kind of thing, losing the mindsets of people, to get people, people will eventually give into the system if they don't understand how all this works, and they'll say, well, I really don't want to do something, but I'll do it. If you tell me this is how it's going to fix things, it's not going to fix things when the governments or celebrities or whoever is the one that influences the people at a given time, when they say, well, all you got to do is go along with this and everything will be fine. You go, well, I don't want to do this, but I'll do it so I can get back to work, or I can feed myself, feed my family, that kind of deal. And then they get hurt for it. Catch my drift. We just went through the whole thing about not breathing in public and, injections and that kind of deal. And no one's better off for it, I can tell you that. Something personal in my life was, I knew someone that, in my opinion, they just died because they didn't understand what was going on around them. And I can't be sure of this, but I would assume that they kind of were worried about getting sick or whatever, so they did a procedure. And like we've been saying for a long time, these procedures are the issue. They're the illness or whatever. If you want to believe that there's even something out there or not, that's up to you, whatever. But we know for a fact that the procedures are not helpful. We know that the procedures are set up to take people off the planet, to get people sick and weak and so on, because you can look at the food and the chemicals drop from the sky, and the mental state and the division of people, and the monuments that say like the Georgia Guidestones in Georgia, the state of Georgia, that says population must fall to 500 million. We're at 8 billion now, somewhere around there. And, I don't like people sometimes at any given moment either, but I see the value in them. Like, people need to stop being so selfish and whatnot. Like, we're blessed to have other people on Earth and be alive and whatnot, and it's not getting anywhere with the whole, I don't like people, I wish that I could be alone, or so on. It's like, you know what? We have the option right now. If you wanted to get time alone, then go somewhere and be alone. If you want to be around someone, you have that opportunity. We don't know how long we'll have any of these opportunities and all this anymore, because all of the nonsense that they keep pushing, it's not going to stop. They're just going to keep pushing harder and harder. If you have studied other countries and stuff like that, how there's like no rights for people and that kind of thing, and you can look into predictive programming from like the movie and book 1984 about you can't be around other people, and the division is ridiculous, and the surveillance is ridiculous, and you have to be a good little soldier, or you can't do things, type deal. And that's what's to come. You can look at places like China, where they have the social credit score, and the social credit score basically says if you're not doing exactly what you're told, you don't get to eat, you don't get to do anything. You can look into where it talks about in the Bible about the mark of the beast in Revelation 13, 16, 17, about you must take an implant into your forehead or hand. That's, people get bogged down in the details of the implantation of, it has to be in the hand or it has to be in the forehead. Well, first of all, you don't want an implantation regardless. That's, people need to think like that. They don't need to think about this and that, about where something's going or whatnot, or this is the mark of the beast or this is not. Just realize that everything around us is just breaking and whatnot, and the only positive, healthy, safe way to do things right now is to prepare for different events and whatnot, and get your resources, and mentally be prepared for things, and teach other people, even if it's time consuming, it's, feels like a lost cause. Like, well, this is where we're at now. This is what it's going to be, and we might as well just be ready for things instead of being reactionary type deal. It's not the best situation, so we get to live through it, thankfully. We're blessed to be alive today, and that's not just me, being like, oh, everything's so great, da 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 da. I try to have a really good mindset and whatnot, but it's so hard when you go through life every day and whatnot, and you see people, and you try to cheer them up and whatnot, and you go out of your way to try to help them, whether it's just say, well, how's your day going, or have a good day or whatever, and they just complain, and they're just, well, it'd be a better day if we didn't have Biden as president. If we had Trump back, that'd be a good day. No, it wouldn't. It'd be the same garbage, regardless of what changes happen. It's a different, same tigers, different stripes or whatever type deal. And people, the people that are on the news, and the celebrities and the politicians and the heads of business and all that, they're all part of the system. So you try to escape, mentally try to escape from, I don't know, some stress or something that you shouldn't put on yourself anyways. You're just trying to get through the workday or whatever. And people get so upset about things, they walk around all upset. It's like, why are you upset for? Like, I don't get it. Like, you gotta be thankful for your blessings, that you're here, that you're able to eat today, that you have things so much better than so many people before you and right now. Let's be thankful for that, and let's use our resources, and our brain is a big resource. It's a huge resource, our bodies and stuff. You do the right things. You don't sit around and get into a depression, get into alcohol and drugs or something like that. And, oh, it numbs my pain for a little bit. Well, you just wasted a bunch of money. You hurt your body. Your tolerance to illness just went down. So on and so forth. What you do will determine how you feel. You do something good for yourself, you do the right thing, you help other people, it'll make you feel better. It doesn't take anything. It doesn't take much time to smile at someone or say have a good day, ask them how their day's going. And they say, well, today's been rough today. It's, there's real stuff going on in people's lives. They lose family members, they lose everything. They're in the same boat you are, and we've all been. Whether it's financial issues or they lost a job, they're awesome. And you say, well, I hope it all works out for you, and you can guide them in the right direction. Try to help motivate them. There's people that they're so upset, they're so stuck in their habits that they can't motivate and whatnot. And it's not helping anybody saying, oh, they're just lazy, they're being lazy, it's all their fault. If you're one of those people that's stuck in a habit or so on, you're having trouble motivating, getting up and just doing something good for your body. If you're stuck at home or something or another, and I don't know, for whatever reason, I don't know, maybe you're a stay-at-home parent or something, while your children are sleeping or whatever, you can go and if your child requires you all the time, so you don't get out much, or just whatever type situation you're in, get up from your chair or your bed or whatever and clean your house or something. Do some exercising. Learn some information that's going to help you in the future. Help your child in the future. Teach your child how to do things for themselves. Doesn't matter what age. Knowledge is timeless. You can teach anybody anything at any time, at any age. Is basic or is, not. Because it feels like knowledge is one of those things that we lost during, my generation and whatnot, the last 20 years or whatever. People lost their ability to be self-sufficient and have good mindsets and help each other and care about each other. But it's more of like you're under 30 years old, you're under 25 years old, 20 years old. You grew up in a totally different mindset that I did. I grew up at the tail end of, maybe the more mature, the more mentally aware of things, and the more self-sufficient type things. So, just a basic understanding of how you can, help people and whatnot, whether it's esoteric or just being good to each other and whatnot type deal. It'll go a long way. And I can tell you right now that if people are in better moods and whatnot, and they feel better about themselves, they feel better about life, they'll want to do things better for themselves. You'll feel better. You will want to change things about yourself. You'll want to change what you've been doing and say, yeah, get some water in me, drink some, water and stuff, get all this crap that I've put in my body out of my system, whatever it is, counteracting a lot of different things. Let's not get upset about our mistakes and our differences and whatnot, because we need all the people we can get to get along and to understand things. And like I've said about the resource thing, I think it's just such a big thing that we need to do. Is if you have the money to do it, get resources and whatnot, because eventually it's not going to matter. Any little thing can be a resource. Like, think of all your water bottles and your pop bottles, or whatever you drink, your alcohol bottles, whatever, your beer bottles. you can reuse those that have lids on them and whatnot, and you're going to need those eventually. What if you got to go use the bathroom or something? Where are you going to use the bathroom in? You're going to go pollute, the earth or whatever? Like, you're just going to walk down the street or whatever when something happens and, urinate everywhere and, ruin land and whatnot for, people that might have to live there or sleep in the grass and whatnot. Like, go dump that somewhere safe and whatnot. And, you can reuse them as collecting rainwater, or you can refill up your jugs with water and stuff like that while we still have literally unlimited resources. It's very simple of a mindset to have, to just be very self-sufficient and realize, what can I use this for instead of throwing it away? What can I reuse this for? And it's that simple. It's a very different mindset than most people understand, but it's very smart, and it'll get everyone a lot further. So if we can get people to think about that kind of thing instead of throwing all their waste away and whatnot, um, you know, we'll get further. We'll help each other out and whatnot. But that's just my little advice video and explaining how you can do some things and how to help yourself and help those close to you right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Appreciate you guys for checking it out. You guys have a good rest of the day.